Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer Dr. Wan Naila Abdullah. My name is Nur Alia Adlina Betina Osmera. Today our group will be presenting on the issues and weaknesses of Hongwei Berhad in relation to corporate governance. Now the first issue of Hongwei Berhad is the delayed annual report. Hongwei Berhad should have already released their December 2015 annual report. However, there was additional work to be done by the auditors as part of the process of investigating and verifying the expenditure incurred and the bank balances. As a result, the report has been delayed. Section 259 of the Companies Act 2016 highlights the duty of companies to lodge their financial statements and reports with the registrar for each financial year. Specifically, public companies like Hongwei Berhad must lodge their financial statements and reports within 30 days from its annual general meeting. Now, after knowing that the report will be delayed, the board of Hongwei Berhad successfully notifies the Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad regarding the matter. Additionally, the board set a new deadline of no later than 2 months from the year end for the report submission. Section 259, subsection 2 of the Companies Act 2016 also allows for an extension of the submission of financial statements and reports before the expiry of the period. However, after 2 months, Hongwei Berhad still failed to submit the financial statements and reports within the agreed time. This could lead to negative assumptions by lenders and investors. They may think that Hongwei Berhad is having problems, or they have disorganized management, or they are hiding negative results like low performance. As a result, the company's share price dropped drastically. Now that is all for the first issue or weaknesses of Hongwei Berhad. The next point will be presented by Alisa. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Alisa Suraya binti Zulkifli and I'll be explaining about the second issue or weaknesses in relation to corporate governance of Hongwei Holdings Berhad, which is about their subsidiaries and inventories. First of all, in order to complete the audit work, the auditor had to meet up with the management team of all the subsidiaries to solve any uncertainty or problems during the audit process. In this case, the auditor was unable to complete the audit work as they did not manage to contact the Hongwei subsidiaries and there was no commitment given by the management teams of subsidiaries during the audit process. The delayed audit report was because the auditor was not able to determine or ascertain the ownership and recoverable amount of subsidiaries as the management team of subsidiaries, which were Greener Investment and Avidoma, refused to give cooperation to the auditors at that material time. In Companies Act 2016, under Section 266, Subsection 1 and Subsection 4, it is stated clearly about the duties and right of auditors. Every auditor of the company shall report to the members on the financial statement and on the company's accounting and other records relating to those financial statements. If it is a holding company for which consolidated financial statements are prepared, shall also report to the members on the consolidated financial statement. An auditor of a company has the right of access at all reasonable times to the accounting and other records, including registers of the company, and is entitled to require from any officer of the company and any auditor of a related company such information and explanations as he desires for the purposes of audit. However, in this case, Hongwei subsidiaries did not give any commitment and also failed to provide appropriate evidence to determine whether all significant events occurring after the reporting period had been adequately dealt with in the financial statement with respect to disclosures, presentation and adjustments. On top of that, there were also risks that occurred due to the fraud where the auditor could not obtain disclosure from the management of the subsidiaries regarding the result of their assessment of the risk whether the financial statement may be misstated as a result of fraud. Thus, this could affect Hongwei's company's reputation in the long run as the issues raised indicated that there were existence of a material uncertainty that may cast significant doubt about the company's ability to continue as going concern, and due to the auditor's inability to contact the management of subsidiaries, they were unable to determine whether the use of going concern assumption is appropriate for Hongwei's company. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Alia binti Zulkifli. The next issue and weakness occur in Hongwei Holding Berhad is resigned without notice. The company lost its company secretary and agent and 2 out of 5 board members resigned last month due to personal reason without notice, and the chief financial officer also leaving Hongwei Holding Berhad. When this happened, the company had been left with no proper functioning board with all non-executive director. The company does not have a steady business structure due to the vacant spot of the board members. The structure of the board of Hongwei Holding Berhad will also have the biggest influence on the way in which corporate governance will be practiced on an ongoing basis. In order for Hongwei to achieve an effectively functioning board, it is crucial to attend to the balance of leadership and structuring of the board. In corporate governance, the written resignation is deemed to be effectively 48 hours after dispatch. A director resigning at a board meeting should make it clear whether the resignation is with immediate effect or from the end of the meeting, as he or she is a party to the decision of the board up until resignation and not just left without any notice, just like other director did. The loss of a board member may change the balance that makes a quorum with only Gary Minen and Jasmine Quer as the board. The board will need to review their bylaws for the number of directors. The board should make a decision about whether they want or need to replace the outgoing board member. They will also need to make the decision about the number of board members as it pertains to regularly meeting the requirement for a quorum. Besides, MCCG 2021 state that the board is supported by a suitably qualified and competent company secretary to provide sound governance advice, ensure adherence to rules and procedure, and advocate adoption of corporate governance best practice. In simple words, the company secretary should be responsible for advising the board through the chairman on all governance matters to do with the proper functioning of the board, as well as facilitating orientation and assistance with professional development as required. The position of company secretary is needed as the company secretary's role is much more important and can help carry out the operation of the company better. That's all for me. Next, I will pass to Shazwan.
Thank you, Fika. So my name is Muhammad Shazwan bin Abdul Halim. I will present the next issue. So the next issue is there was a legal claim by the certain parties against Jiangjiang Shoe Material Limited, and the auditor failed to complete the investigation due to some limitation and were currently unable to provide required information and comprehensive legal advice. So under Company Act 2016, Section 174 stated that every auditor of a company shall report to the members on the account required to be laid before the company in general meeting and on the company's accounting and other record relating to those accounts, and if it is a holding company for which consolidated accounts are prepared, shall also report to the members on the consolidated account. In this case, it looked like they did not have a good communication between the board and the subsidiary. So under MCCG 2021 stated that ongoing engagement and communication with stakeholders build trust and understanding between the company and its stakeholders. It provides stakeholders a better appreciation of the company's objective and the quality of its management. So it is a must that there is continuous communication between the company and stakeholders to facilitate mutual understanding of each other's objective and expectation. Stakeholders are able to make informed decisions with respect to the business of the company, its policy on governance, the environment, and the social responsibility. That's all from me. I will pass to Nadia. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nadia binti Miftah Rahman. Okay, I will proceed to the next issue, which is risks that occur due to fraud. Okay, the current problem in Hongwei Holdings Berhad is risks that occur due to fraud, where the auditors could not obtain disclosure from management of the subsidiaries regarding the result of their assessment of the risk, whether the financial statement may be misstated as a result of fraud. Okay, we know that all organizations are subject to fraud risk. Okay, large fraud have led to the downfall of the entire organizations, massive investment losses, significant legal costs, and erosions of confidence in capital markets. Okay, based on Companies Act 2016, Section 246, it stated that all the transactions is properly authorized and that the transaction is recorded as necessary to enable the preparation of true and fair view of the financial statement of the company. Okay, this problem will lead to the inability to obtain sufficient assurance that there were no material weaknesses in the system of internal account controls, or that there was no risk that the financial statement may be materially misstated as a result of fraud. Okay, this means that in order to obtain a true and fair view of financial statement, the company should avoid all the actions that can lead to fraud. Okay, in the company, the auditors were also informed that there were legal claims that appeared to have been brought by certain parties against the Jinjiang Shoes Material Limited. Auditors has not completed their investigation due to some limitations, and it was currently unable to provide the required information and comprehensive legal advice. Okay, due of that, Gary Menon, which is the chairman, was charged 1.6 million, and Jasmine was fined 1.6 million too for causing Hongwei commit financial reporting breach and promoting the conglomerate to commit corporate governance breach, foreign listing requirement breach, disclosure breach, and non-compliance with Bursa Malaysia Securities Directive. Okay, this shows that the top-level management cannot perform their duties properly, and this can make the employees also cannot perform their duties well, as they might take the actions which can lead to fraud. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Natasha binti Khairun, and now I'm going to explain on the last issue, which is lack of directors' awareness on the importance of corporate governance. According to MCCG 2021, all directors should objectively discharge their duties and responsibility at all times as fiduciaries in the interest of the company. All directors must act with integrity, led by example, keep abreast of his responsibility as a director and of the conduct, business activities, and development of the company. To enable the board to discharge its responsibility in meeting the goals and objectives of the company, the board should ensure that there is a sound framework for internal controls and risk management. In this case, Jasmine Kaur, who is the CEO and one of the members of the board, is responsible to handle the issues arise at Hongwei, but due to her lack of awareness on how important the corporate governance is to the company, the issues arise cannot be tackled or prevented. As example, no actions has been taken by Jasmine and the other board members in managing the threats arise in the companies, like the problems involving its subsidiaries where no commitment was given by the management team. They should establish a risk management committee which comprises a majority of independent directors to oversee the company's risk management framework and policies. Only by this way, the board can identify any threats arise at Hongwei earlier and directly implement necessary controls to overcome the threats. If Jasmine Kaur and the other directors focuses more on the importance of corporate governance to the company, they are able to successfully tackle the threats arise and guarantee an effective governance structure. In conclusion, lack of corporate governance in Hongwei Holdings Berhad will affect the going concern of the company. When there is an improper corporate governance practice, the shareholders' confidence will be affected and it will lead to a negative influence on the business market. In this case, Hongwei already appointed new directors to recognize the importance of corporate governance in running the company's operations, including its subsidiaries, which will help to build up back the shareholders and stakeholders' trust. That's all from us. Thank you.